Hey, what's good with you guys? Al Birdman here. I'm going to tell you all another wrestling story. This one starts off kind of in poker. There was a guy that I used to play cards with back in the day. His name was Jerry, but everybody called him Bug Boy. And I mean, he was really funny. Like he would just fly off the rails sometimes, especially if you gave him a little bit of alcohol. But one day I heard somebody ask, how come they don't call him Bug Man? Why do they call him Bug Boy? And honestly, like there probably wasn't any poker players there that day that were qualified to answer the question, but there was a professional wrestler there that was qualified to answer the question, but I just didn't. And the answer to that question was that but there was already a bug man in Amarillo, and he was involved in professional wrestling, and he went by the name Dennis Stamp. If you have ever seen the movie Beyond the Mat, I mean he's the guy that tells Terry Funk that he's not going to be at the show because he's not booked. I mean that he's always been like that, and he basically talks about how he hadn't been booked in a long time, and there was time a lot more spaces in between matches, but I mean like he was always training for the next match just in case that phone ever rang. And I guess that's another way I should feel gratified that that Dennis would come to our whenever I. Sorry, I just kind of rambled there for a second, but I tore my ACL whenever I was wrestling for Amarillo Championship Wrestling, and we were kind of going into the summertime. Wintertime, it was too cold to do wrestling shows outside, so a lot of times we would find a spot. Like we would do for a couple of years, we wrestled out at the go kart track off of McCormick Road and I-27. And then we would move the shows to like the YMCA or something along those lines for the wintertime because, I mean, we get that Arctic freeze. Nobody wants to go wrestle outside in 10-degree weather. And in Amarillo, Texas, nobody wants to go watch the professional wrestling in 10-degree weather either. Maybe in Buffalo, not in Amarillo. So we would move around to different spots because sometimes, YMCA would be double booked or whatever. And so we were had just started doing wrestling shows over at the Big Texan. Yes, that place with the 72-ounce steak that you may have heard about. So we would do these. They had this like really big like circus tent out in the back. So we would do our wrestling shows in there every week. After I tore my ACL, I wasn't able to perform over there, but this was during a time that Dennis Stamp was actually coming to our wrestling show. So no, we didn't book him. So he wasn't around in the locker room, but he would sit down with me outside, like out in the crowd area, and we would watch matches. And he would go over ring psychology, whenever something would happen in the ring, be like, "Oh man, they should have done this," or I mean, they could have done this a little bit differently. And like, why doesn't anybody work the crowd anymore? Like, this is the lost art of working the crowd, Jay. Let me show you how this is done. But like, they should have, And then he would just go over every little detail. He was one of the only guys that I ever saw successfully put Terry Daniels in his place. Back in the day, none of us, we were all young. I mean, we couldn't ever. Terry was basically double all of our ages. So, I mean, we could never tell him nothing. But Dennis could tell Terry something. Dennis would be the guy to be like, "Hey, man, like, why didn't you do this? Like, man, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, he's forgot how to work a crowd too, Jay. Like, I got that guy a job in WWF, but he came back, figures in debt 6 weeks later. Like, he would just say all sorts of stuff. I mean, but he was a really funny guy, and I mean, I learned. If I learned from anybody, I learned more from him than I did anybody else. I mean, he just knew his stuff, and he was a blessing. Like, and that's the crazy thing too, is that there wasn't a lot of people. I mean, like he didn't like a lot of the guys either, and somehow he was a blessing to know. And I ended up getting hurt down the line, and then I lost contact with him, and I never got back a hold of him, and I heard that he passed away, man, and yeah, that was pretty tough. I've been playing cards and stuff, and yeah, that's one of the guys that like him and Bobby Cunningham and some of those guys that man, they're just not around anymore, man. Like Chance Williams, Sean Vex, you know, Michael Faith. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. They're just gone now, man. And it's crazy to me. Is like, I mean, a couple of them. I mean, like Dennis, and I mean, he was older, I mean, but I mean, a lot of these guys, they were my age, man, and it's kind of crazy, It's just they caught me on a kind of reflective mood today, and that's after telling the story about Terry Funk. So told them both in the same day. But Dennis was a very unique character, and I can definitely tell you it was definitely a blessing to know him. And if you ever get bored, I found some poetry of his that he read on YouTube. I thought that was pretty interesting. One of them was about Hulk Hogan, and fitting that I would find it a week and a half after, 2 weeks after Hulk Hogan died. So, anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. And I know I might have rambled a little bit this time around, but just man, so he was a big guy, and he had a large personality, and I mean, yeah, he's definitely unique, funny guy. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to say something nice about yourself. If you're going through something, man, make sure you hit up your friends, or you hit up somebody you can hit up, man. Like mental health is a real thing, especially with men. I mean, women too. I mean, everybody. But anyways, guys, we'll talk to you later. Thank you.